Messing than Deborah Messing? Oh, last week, Will and Grace, remember that? Their stars, Eric McCormack and Deborah Messing, tweeted about an upcoming Trump fundraiser in Beverly Hills. McCormack asked the Hollywood Reporter to report on everyone attending this event so the rest of us can be clear about who we don't want to work with. Then Messing followed suit, asking for the list of attendees as well, which set off a wave of critics claiming the tweet was akin to McCarthyism. That would make Eric Joe McCarthy and Deborah Charlie McCarthy for repeating Eric like a frickin' dummy. After some backlash, they claimed they only wanted to know where Trump's major donors were coming from. They wanted to nail everybody down to the gaffer. Meanwhile, Kirstie Alley tweeted, quote, "I refuse to be part of the Hollywood asshats who can't see that not working with Republicans is as stupid and nasty as refusing to do business with gay people. Stop acting above the fray, you damn hypocrites. We're the same species. Let's help each other out, you damn yahoos." My Sunday night. Tyrus, only people who live in a bubble with no friends would do this. Like, they felt that they could just say, hey, let's just nail everybody who disagrees with us because it's not going to affect me. I mean...
Is this from personal experience, like stuff that happened in your bubble?
I don't have a bubble. You know that I float everywhere.
Oh, okay. But my point is, she made a great point where if you single somebody out because you don't like them or don't approve of them, if that was any other situation, like I want a list of everyone who's supporting Michelle Obama's new book.
Right.
If somebody put something like that out, everyone would be shocked and disgusted. Like, how dare you?
Yeah.
So because you, I mean, it's the same thing.
That was them. Anyway, so remember last week's rally? There, Trump told reporters that people waiting in line for the show are soaking wet, which immediately triggered CNN's expert firemen to leap from their bunk beds, slide down their fiery red poles, and come to the rescue in their matching velour pajamas. To do what? Oh, to point out that it's 80 degrees and sunny outside the rally. It's not raining, so how could they be wet? Well, maybe someone should point out to CNN, there's this thing that happens when it's hot and sunny in the South. It's called sweating. Mr. Stelter. Sorry, I find it hard to believe that this fella isn't familiar with that concept. Brian, it's that stuff you feel when you go up one flight of stairs.
They're wrong about everything.
Yeah, could you imagine a company for 2 years putting out a faulty product?
No, but they were wrong. Everything about the election they got wrong. And then they just transitioned into everything about Russia wrong.
Yes.
And then along the way, they'd be like, oh, Jesse Smollett. Oh, no, that was wrong, too.
Juicy. It's pronounced juicy.
Juicy.
They're useless.
They are useless. Yeah.
How can you have a meltdown when he's in, because it's bad, and then when he gets out, you also have a meltdown about that?
Yeah.
Starting to think they just like meltdowns.
They do.
But for John, I agree with you. I really, really like John Bolton. You know, every interaction I've had with him has been positive. Nice guy, funny guy. However, I could not be happier that he's no longer in a position of power, because we have this cycle where we use war to solve problems, and then that creates more problems, and then that creates more war, and it just keeps going and going and going, and it's hard to get out of. And one of the things that I really like about the president is that he seems to understand that and seems to be trying to change that. So I'm happy to see that Bolton is no longer has a job.
It's interesting how the
Hell yes, we're gonna take your AR-15, your AK-47.
Thank you. So how about Joe, right? You know, Joe made some points, then he started yapping about a record player.
Play the radio. Make sure the television, make sure you have the record player on at night.
You know, I bet he thinks Bluetooth is something you get from eating blue paint. And some whippersnapper tried to take him out.
Are you forgetting what you said 2 minutes ago? Are you forgetting already what you said just 2 minutes ago? I I can't believe that you said 2 minutes ago that they had to buy in, and now you're saying they don't have to buy. You're forgetting that.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's difficult. They say all these things, and then again, I hate the media so much. All they have to do, they keep saying, they want all these open borders, unlimited immigration, and then free health care for everybody. Just one, George Stephanopoulos, you know, just say, excuse me, how do you do both of those?
Yeah.
All you have to do is ask that one question, their entire platform collapses.
Yeah.
And they can't do it. But I do appreciate George Stephanopoulos, you know, he, you know, did the thing. He's a friend of Jeffrey Epstein's. It's nice to see. And, you know, went to the dinner party at the house. It's nice that he can still moderate a debate. You know, I'm a comedian. We get canceled all the time. You go to Jeffrey Epstein's house for a dinner party after he's convicted of child molestation, and he's moderating a presidential debate.
I didn't even know that.
God bless him.
I don't read enough.
No, I'll tell you why, Greg. It's not in the media. They don't report it. They cover it all up. They're useless.
Kat, what was your high point, low points?
Well, I was just absolutely infuriated by what Beto said about taking away guns, or hell yeah, I'm gonna take your gun. Okay, tough guy. All right. I know that he thinks he was being cool and that he was being progressive, but actually, and maybe he's just been too busy like skateboarding around his liberal bubble, so he doesn't understand this, but there are actually millions and millions of responsible legal gun owners, people who do own these guns. And by him saying that he is going to take them away to make it safer, he's implying that the mere ownership of one of these guns means that you're going to use it to commit mass murder. That is not only illogical and stupid, because as gun ownership has gone up, violent crime has actually gone down. That's a fact. That's not only stupid, it's actually so insulting to all these people who are just trying to exercise their constitutional rights, which anyone who wants to be president should know something about.
He lost all of Texas.